everybody? It's your boy Blazing. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over My Hero Ultra Rumble update patch notes. Just came out on the 12th, so I am a little bit late. I read over some of these and what I thought about it. First, let's go over it and what I think for the first patch notes. So here we go. We got a couple bug fixes. Shortened the time it takes to enter the lobby after searching for a lobby. I don't remember having an issue with that at all. Must be for those rank losers that are trying to ruin the game for the casuals. Fixed a server bug that occurred when changing characters in training mode. Didn't have this problem either. It was a problem, so I guess it needed to be fixed. But like I said, I never had that issue, so if that was an issue for you guys, hopefully it was fixed for you, and I'm glad. Thirdly, but not lastly, fixed a server bug that was occurring in communication during battles. So this was one of those rare bugs that would happen and you wouldn't be able to talk to your teammate, you wouldn't be able to text or say anything once you get knocked. I think it was one of the ones where it switches your UI to your allies UI. So say you're Midoriya and you die, well, your whole UI, even if you get revived, it'll switch to Bakugo and you wouldn't be able to text or type to them at all or use your microphone. Weird glitch, but it was a pretty huge glitch. Definitely needed to be fixed. Glad that was fixed. I haven't been on to test it, so I don't know if it has been fixed, but these are just the patch notes that's saying they are fixed. So hopefully they are fixed for you guys in the game. Now, before we get into the superheroes that need the bug fixes, I do want to start out by saying sorry there's no video of my face on being on camera. I am sick and I'm dealing with this wholeheartedly. It was definitely a tough time. This crisis had gotten out of hand, so I could not do anything that I wanted to do. So I do apologize for that. Continuing, let's move on to the heroes of My Hero Ultra Rumble that needed to be fixed. Izuku Midoriya being the number one that needed to be fixed immediately. Izuku Midoriya, before all of this, before I reading this, had a huge balancing issue that was based on his damage and his cooldowns. And I would say his shield as well, his health, because you couldn't do anything to him. He was a tank, a damage support. You couldn't touch him. You couldn't stop him from saving anybody. You couldn't stop him from escaping. You couldn't stop him from killing you with one shot. Literally with one shot. I don't know how anyone missed that in the beta, in the alpha, but that was a thing. He could kill you with one shot. Ugh. Anyways, that was probably the most annoying thing possible that they took now on the 12th to realize and fix. Now, quirk skill A, Delaware Smash, was the flick ability. He would flick his fingers and an air bullet would pop out and hit you at a distance. That damage has finally been reduced, guys. I would say some distance needs to be reduced on it, but damage is just as good. The damage has finally been reduced to, I don't know, but it said it's been reduced for all levels. So not just one level, but no, I don't know how much of a damage reduced it is, but it should be significant enough to actually matter this time. There are other abilities that Midoriya needs to be nerfed so he can actually not be broken anymore. Moving on, Katsuki Bakugo. Bakugo AP shot, his ranged ability that looks like a sniper but actually doesn't go that quite far. Fun fact, Todoroki is the one that has the furthest range ability, even though his is purely fire. That doesn't make any sense because fire tends to exhaust faster than an explosion does, but okay, or an air flick. But we'll let that slide since he is my favorite character anyway. Quirk skill AP shot, damage reduced at all levels. Bakugo had the highest damage of all. I do believe when he was maxed out on all his stats, it was 100. So every time you use an explosion ranged ability, he would do 100 damage. I'm not so sure how that's going to affect him now because he is a ranged character that can get away. I would say if they're going to reduce his damage, first off, put how much you're going to reduce his damage by in the patch notes. That's the first thing, because we're going to be reading them before we get on the game. And secondly, actually make it to where it's useful to a ranged AP user. Don't just reduce his damage and call it good just by 10 damage. If you're going to reduce it by something significant, because you forget Bakugo can fly away and spin away. He has 3 abilities that he can use to get away. And some of you are probably like, well, his will move, his spinning will blow up move is not really one to get away. Yes, it is. All he has to do is use that move on you, spin, blow you out of the way, and then fly out of the air. You're concussed for like 1 second afterward. You're not able to move or see where he went after the fact. Now, moving on. Katsuko Bakugo, as long as his damage has been reduced significantly, I am okay with that. Shoto Todoroki's damage for his basic ranged ability is getting decreased. Okay, these are one of the nerfs and patches that are starting to look a little silly now, because neither was his damage OP or too big, nor was it too powerful. It was actually just the right amount. It was really good, and he barely had any escape to get away unless you froze them, and that was quite hard to do. It's not like you could just free will, willy-nilly freeze everybody in sight and get away. And it's not like you could have slid up hills or up buildings, even though I believe he could do that if they just gave him the ability to do that, but I won't complain about that. I digress. This is one of the more silly patches. Why reduce his damage? He does do damage over time, but the damage over time is not significant enough to warrant a nerf. It doesn't make sense to me, but it happened, and I think they need to take that back, because that's ridiculous. I think they just seen, oh, all range characters need a debuff. No, that's not the case. I don't know who said that. It's probably those ranked losers up top. They're ruining the game for the casuals. Anyways, Spark Skill B, Recipro Burst, increased reload speed. Now, I'm assuming increased reload speed means they increase the time that it takes to get that ability back. Now, I don't know why they would do that, because Ida is completely useless. Without it, completely useless. He can only use his other abilities twice, and he can use his Q 3 times. So once he runs out of he can only use his Q twice and his main ability 3 times, and it launches him in the air, leaving him motionless and an easy target. So why is he getting a nerf? Why is he being touched at all? That makes no sense at all. And let me tell you guys, let's just start from the beginning. Ida has 3 main abilities. He flips up in the air and attacks you in the air 3 times, leaving himself vulnerable to any ranged ability after that, because he cannot move unless he has his Q. His Q is another attack that launches him in the air, which leaves him vulnerable to any other attack. So let me tell you, why is he getting a nerf? He should be getting a speed buff to reduce those cooldowns. This doesn't make sense. It says increase reload speed at all levels. Yeah, cancel that. I think that means he's getting all his abilities back faster. Okay, so that makes more sense now. That makes a lot more sense, because he definitely needed that. He was, first off, guys, he was vulnerable in the air after every ability and not able to move. He would get hit by literally any attack from anything if he were stuck to be in the air without his teammates fighting the other people. Secondly, if you go knocked and you get knocked, your teammate gets knocked and Ida is up and able to get you, he would not be able to get you without using an ability to launch himself in the air and knock an enemy back, leaving himself vulnerable until he touches ground again. So he definitely needed that, because he would not be able to pick you up off the ground if they're just spamming abilities all over the floor, which they do now. So thank you for making that was a great little patch. That was a great patch. Good job. Suya Asui, aka Froppy, aka the frog girl that likes to jump around with the long tongue and stuff. Don't get your mind twisted, guys. She's only 16 or whatever the age. Freaking weirdos. She can go invisible, and her reduced invisibility time is through level 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now she has reduced duration of her invis. I don't know why her invisibility is reduced. It's not like you couldn't see her, because I know every time I played the freaking game and I went invisible, I was still being able to be seen. So Bandai Namco, what's going on here? Because this doesn't make any sense. Every time I go invisible, people can still see me and they can knock me out of my invisibility, and I I do it too. Every time someone goes invisible with Froppy, I knock them out of their invisibility. What's the point of this if the visibility doesn't even work already? Doesn't make sense. This is one of the patches that don't make sense. Ay. Here we go. We're starting to mess up the game now. Aijiro Kirishima. Now, Aijiro Kirishima, aka Red Riot, aka the Hard Man, aka special action hardening. Now his special action was kind of weird. Sometimes it didn't work. Actually a lot of times it didn't work. He's supposed to get hard and not be able to be budge after doing so. So I'm not sure how that's worked because I definitely was getting pushed and bullied a lot while using that ability. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Effect duration extended. Okay, he definitely needed that because Mountain Lady had a longer version of being in her Mountain Lady form and she was able to get it back way quicker than Red Riot. So thank you for that. Increased reload speed. Thank you for that. He definitely needed that. B, red counter. Increased number of bullets at all levels. What? Huh? Increased number of bullets. I'm assuming number of bullets returned to sender. Okay. I don't know how you properly account for that because it's not amount of bullets. It's it would be amounts of damage, and you can't really see that unless you see the actual effect returning. You know, the actual blast turning back around and hitting the character, which you don't actually see. So I don't know how they're gonna make that one actually work. It's already not satisfying as is. So hopefully they fix that. Tamura Shigaraki, everyone loves her. She's pretty broken with her spam ability to just spam knives, throw. Literally throw. That was it. You don't use her for anything else. Basically, you just use her throw ability. Let's see if they fix that. Quirk Scare. Area glitch. Increases the number of bullets at all levels. Wow. They actually did not change it. They actually made it worse. Dabi. Now, Dabi was a character that seemed pretty balanced all around. Let's see if they managed to mess that up. Maximum HP changed to 350. They didn't say from what, so I'm assuming it was from 250 to 350, which gave him more HP. I don't know why. He was a purple character that could lay out trap. I feel like they're starting to lose their way of what kind of game they wanted to make because these balances are not making sense anymore. He's a damaged character that can lay down traps and keep you from reviving other teammates if used correctly, and downing your teammates if used correctly. So Bandai Namco, are you paying attention to what game you're making and how your community is playing the game, or do you care and you're just trying to make, or are you just trying to make another J-Stars? Here we go again, and might I add, not as good looking either. So you're already off with a terrible start. Next, Mr. Compress. Mr. Compress is a character that he can very well support your teammate by throwing a smoke cloud down, going invisible and teleporting away, and putting his ally in his pocket while doing so. And while the ally is in his pocket, they can heal for as much as they want, but they can't heal their shield. Alright, so let's see what this guy. Quirk skill, a production magic, increased number of bullets at all levels. Okay, not bad. His abilities are a little harder to land. He does a lot of damage, but they're real hard to land, so I'll give him that one. B, sleight of hand, increases the number of bullets at levels. Increased number of bullets at levels. So they just increased the bullets of all his abilities. Gotcha. I'm not mad at it. He definitely deserves it. All of his abilities are very difficult to hit. Now, that was the end of the patch, guys. That was the end of all the patches. Now, they definitely needed to roll out some patch notes for everything, guys, because before they dropped out some new heroes or anything, or new events or anything, because that would have ruined their game tremendously. But with that being said, they messed up their game tremendously. Oh my gosh, guys. Dude, the first things first. They did not fix the glitch where your teammate's card disappears off the map to where you can't revive them or get their card anymore, and they have no choice but to leave the game and get a penalty. Yes, wow. Falling under the map is another glitch. Cementos has too many obstacles in the way, guys. Especially when there's multiple Cementoses in there. Oh my god, it's just a pile up of cements, guys. So many walls, floors, building everywhere, just all over the place. It's just everywhere. Please. Momo is probably the worst of them all. She needs the highest balance of any character in the game. And she's not even a ranged character. She's a melee character that does too much damage. And you cannot hit her in the back while she's dashing forward. Let me repeat that. While she's dashing forward with a shield in front of her, doing the Call of Duty War That War dash with the shield in front of her, she cannot be hit in her back. Let me say it one more time. Wow, there is a Call of Duty shield basher throwing stun grenades at you and throwing shield grenades or whatever the heck you want to call it, guys. And they're throwing it at you. You can't hit her in her back. While her back meat is showing, you cannot hit her in her back. While her calves are showing, you cannot hit her in her back. While any part of her back belonging is showing, you cannot hit her in her back. Why? Because someone's open back, it doesn't mean that you can hit them, obviously. That's just... My Hero has literally made the worst patch notes of all time. What I would have done to Toga, I would have at least reduced her cooldown speed for her ranged ability, because she literally has the highest amount of all, and she can non-stop just keep throwing them constantly. Ochako can use a small nerf to her spin ability, because that's literally all she uses is her spin move. Her up gravity move can use some kind of timing reduction so that it actually can pop off on time and be useful to her teammates. Opening chests. Chests also have a glitch to where if you open it, it won't always open. That goes for small boxes, that goes for gold boxes, that goes for giant boxes that are crucial for teams that have no people on their teams and they're trying to revive their whole squad or they're trying to clutch up a match. They won't open. That is all from your boy Blaze. If I come up with anything else next, I'm pretty sure there are tons of items and things that I've missed. But I only wanted to talk about the glitches for today before they move on to adding characters and skins to the game, because I feel like the bugs and glitches are what's more important. Well, until I see you guys again next time. Peace. Make sure you subscribe and follow to the channel, your boy Blaze, and drop by the Twitch. I'm live over there sometimes. Peace.